Here we go. I think we got it. Shalom, shalom. Call halal Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Of course, double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. Taught us this truth and who were well. This is Naaman.
Yo, what's up?
All right. DC camp. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the missiles. All right. Because that's what the atmosphere we're in now. You know, everything's on edge, including the people. All right. So, you know, you got these forces at work. We all know what's behind it. You go to Revelation 16 chapter. You know, these angels, these spirits are working on the minds of these leaders. All right. And they've been given this delusion like they're in charge. All right. Oh no, not by a long shot. All right. Remember, those voices in your head are not necessarily yours. Just remember that. All right. Y'all stop.
Okay. I'm on Second Ezra, the 16th chapter.
Second Ezra 16. All right.
Okay. Woe be unto Babylon and Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Woe be unto the Egypt and Syria.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this Egypt. You know, they're talking about America today.
Exactly.
You know, he's talking about America today. You know, a corner man gonna know that. You know,
Exactly.
you gotta be spiritual to know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Okay, gird up yourself with clothes of sacks and hair, and bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got Donald Trump in the house. You know, they think Donald Trump, you know, they savior. You know, he's just a puppet. You know.
Yeah, they think you know. I call him Big Baby,
You know,
Special Agent Orange. You know.
you got a double mind anyway. You know,
Oh,
you know,
very
they
much
said,
so.
You know, they said about a double-minded man
He's
in the script.
unstable in all his ways, and he is
Yeah,
very unstable.
Okay. Fire is set. Okay, so a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?
Mm-hmm.
The sword is the fire. You know.
Exactly.
It's the fire, the destruction. A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it?
Mm-hmm.
What it's saying, ain't gonna stop this fire.
Exactly.
It ain't gonna stop it.
Which, by the way, if I may, it contrasts with these churches are teaching you people. You've been in these churches, and they have fooled you. And we were all in those churches at one point in time. But the thing is, the Most High woke us up. All right? And we're trying to wake those of you up that are, as Paul put it, meet for repentance. All right? Repent and come out of these whorehouses they call churches before it's too late. The door is closing, is getting to where you can barely see out of that sucker now. It's so close, closing. All right?
Okay. Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? You know, like this coronavirus we got down.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got no cure for it. You know, they trying to say, you know, it's man-made, but if it is, you know, it's killing a whole lot of people. You know.
So they say, and the whole thing has created confusion because we don't know what the supposed body counts. We don't know what's real and what's not. All right, because the thing is, these other societies, well, China, which is supposedly where it originated, they're opening back up. All right. Now, supposedly over here, we've surpassed by far the deaths over there in China for a while now. So we know that it's a lot of BS in this. All right. They have an agenda that they want to push forth, and the people are so pliable. Well, that's not putting it nicely. People are so stupid and dumbed down over here that they're going to fall for anything, and they do. I mean, just your everyday, you know, you walk around, you're looking at people, with these masks on, they're looking at you if you don't have one. But the thing is, when you get into quarantine, the people that are sick are supposed to be the ones wearing the mask. So what Esau has done, he's done the switcheroo, all right? So he's saying now, if you're sick, you're not wearing a mask. So everybody that's wearing a mask is supposed to be. This is crazy. It's crazy. It flies in the face of everything that was established before. It's madness. All right, you wonder why people expect an increase in suicides. All right, can I read this real quick? This is, since we're on the topic of the missiles and what's coming down the pipe with this fire. This is Joel chapter 2, start at the top. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm on my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Most High Yahweh cometh. For it is nigh at hand, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. All right? A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. But I thought, the day of the Lord was supposed to be, what's one of them old church gospel song, Oh Happy Day?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't grow up with that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, this devil has set you all up for a monumental letdown. All right. Like I said, expect, because now we know they've got this thing where they're gonna go around and, you've seen video. I don't know if you've seen it. They got a video where the police went and taking people out of their houses to go get screened for this coronavirus. All right.
Yeah.
And I mean, see, it's funny to me, the irony of it, because growing up, my generation, those before me, you always taught that the good old US of A was about being upright, all for the little man and all this, we knew it was BS. Making fun of all the other countries, whether it was third world or so-called, or, well, they loved to pick on Russia, especially when I was coming up. And look now. That's why a guy over in China, was it China? I think it was. He got in trouble, but he was like, because Donald Trump made that comment in a press conference. He was talking about, he called several countries, to include Haiti, he called them shithole countries. And the guy over there in China, he's saying, well, who's the shithole country now? Rightfully so. And right, these people are starting to make mockery of this place now, because all that BS that came out of America first, America, American exceptionalism and all this crap. We're so first world and all this, whatever that means. And now look, effectively, we're in martial law. I hope you all realize that. Martial law. Like, damn. Now it's starting to, today was what, in the 80s, low 80s? Now it's starting to get warm and stay warm. Curious. I'm curious as to what's going to play out these next, let's just say the next month. I'm not going to even go deep into the summer.
Yeah.
Let's just say the next month. All right? That's it all. That's all I had on that right now.
Okay. Okay. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. It lets you know that that's the same way those missiles gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The mighty Lord sends a plague, and who is he that can drive them away? So he said the mighty Lord sent the plague.
Mm-hmm.
He in charge of all of this. He said like he got it all nations in the palm of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
The scripture, He sent the plague. Okay. A fire to go forth from his wrath. And who is he that may quench it? Ain't nobody gonna be able to put it out. I think when the missiles hit, I think this place supposed to, it gonna be like it's gonna smoke forever.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, you know.
Or at least for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And for those that want to get stupid, if I may, it's not talking about some big swole dude on some shore, you know, with a bow and arrow. Nobody's that strong, all right? It's talking about missiles. It's talking about missiles, all right? The bow being the missile silos, all right? Someone will get stupid. Oh, okay, you got Ronnie Coleman or somebody over there, all right, whatever. It's talking about missiles. Anything else on that?
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna finish it up. Okay, he shall catch lightning, and who shall not fear? And he shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? It's just like a big major storm, a hurricane, a tornado or something. People get scared.
Yeah, get shook. Get shook.
They get scared, you know, like, you know, hide, you know, go to the basement and, you know, all that, you know, go.
Don't talk on the telephone like we were told when we grew up.
Yeah, you know.
Everybody gets shook.
The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence. They can't face the Most High. They couldn't face the Most High no way, you know.
No,
They'll crumble, you know.
Exactly. And that goes back to what I had stated earlier about when I was talking about these Christians, but Esau in general is in for a very rude awakening because he thinks, you know, his little technology that was, by the way, given to him. All right? Because at the end of the day, it's like the Most High, he wants a fight. All right? He's going to force him to. It says that in 2 Ezra 13 chapter. If I may, I have a precept real quick, since we're going to talk about who he's going to beat them to powder. This is Psalms chapter 135, verse 8. It says, who smote the firstborn of Egypt, both of man and beast? Who sent tokens and wonders into the midst of thee, O Egypt, upon Pharaoh and upon all his servants? Who smote great nations and slew mighty kings? All right? And the who is asking these rhetorical questions, all right? Because it should be obvious who we're talking about. We're talking about the Most High, all right?
Yeah, that's right. Okay. The earthquake and the foundation thereof, the sea arise up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof are also before the Lord, before the glory of his power. Okay. The strong is his right hand that bends the bow. His arrow that he shoots are sharp and shall not miss. When they begin to be shot into the end of the word. This tells you right there, you know, like you said, you can't shoot no arrow in the world, man.
But you have some people that they draw that conclusion. Oh, we're talking about a big, strong archer with Let me get this precept, if I can. This is Amos chapter 3, verse 4. Wait a minute. Oops. Now I done lost my train of thought. Salaki. Let's see. That's not what I had. It was Psalms 68 and wait a minute. Verse 8, Salaki. It says, the earth shook, the heavens also dropped at the presence of the Most High. Even Sinai itself was moved at the presence of the Most High, the power of Israel. Again, we were talking about these rhetorical questions we're talking about, who we talking about that's mighty, all right? This Most High is the power of Israel, all right? And it's referring back here to perhaps the greatest bitch out of all times. If you remember Exodus chapter 19, where the chariot of the Most High descended on Mount Sinai, all right? And he had Moses instruct the people on how to, to fast for 3 days, not going into their wives, they want them to be clean, all right? They wanted to speak to the Most High directly, all right?
Yeah, that's right.
And try to go around Moses, come on, And Moses brought that point up, and it started thundering and lightning, and and people got scared. And it was like, okay, Moses, we'll go through you. And every time I think about that, I laugh, because the Most High give you what you want. But then again, once he gives it to you, like in that case, what? Like I said, greatest recorded bitch outs of all times. Can't handle it.
I had a precept. This is about the nations when they get ready to go against Egypt, which is United States, and its allies. This is what it's saying. Okay. Isaiah 14:9.
Oh yes.
Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming.
Mm-hmm.
It stir up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has rise up from their throne, all the kings of their nation. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Mm-hmm.
Art thou become like unto us? See, these nations, these small nations, they just got, they got much power as the United States, Look at a small country like Iran ain't that big of a country. You got all kind of power.
Mm-hmm.
Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer,
Mm-hmm.
son of the morning? That's what they call it,
Mm-hmm.
How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nation? Ain't nobody ever did that but the United States.
There you go.
Ain't nobody ever did that but the United States. They bomb more countries than any country in the world.
Come.
Iraq, Vietnam.
Esau in general, America in particular, all right?
Yeah.
Because America represents, when you understand the three nation or the three city-states, America is the military arm of it. And then you have the Vatican, which is the religious, and then you have London, which is the economical center, all right? So you mentioned about these small nations. If I might, it's a word that's known as parity, all right? And it means, this is from Merriam-Webster, and it says the quality or state of being equal or equivalent, all right? For instance, these smaller nations are always trying to get nuclear weapons. Why? Because one nuke goes a long way, all right? All you really need is one or a few. Then countries like the U.S., what they were known to do running roughshod over these smaller nations that they knew couldn't stand up to them. So through their policies, you know, they were strong arm. All right. Now these countries, because who is America's arch enemy? It's Russia. So it becomes a case of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So now you got countries that now their big brother is Russia. So the U.S. can't strong arm or run roughshod over them like they used to, because what? Russia's sitting in the background. Yeah, that's what's been going on.
Okay, they tried to say tomorrow Russia collapse and all that stuff. But how they come back so fast?
That's the thing.
So strong.
That's my point. Whether the USSR collapsed as we knew it from the Cold War era, right after World War II, up until when they made their claim, I think it was the very early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, then Boris Yeltsin got up in there and he was more or less a buffoon. So they were saying, oh, the USSR collapsed. But going back to my point here, all those nuclear weapons they had, what are you going to do? You can't. They just need the right leader to get up in there. And make no mistake about this when I say this. Putin, we know still who's backing him, all right? This is all one big game, all right? But the U.S. can't go around unchecked regardless, all right? Because you got to know overall who's pulling the strings in this. And as it says in Revelation 7 chapter, who's holding back, the winds, all right? It's the Most High doing this until that particular time. That's why I read also Revelation 16 chapter.
Anyway, Russia got some submarine.
Mm-hmm.
They got some submarines that can destroy the whole United States. They got some supersonic. They call them supersonic.
Hypersonic.
Yeah, hypersonic.
Hypersonic now, yeah.
Nuclear.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got some submarines that can destroy the United States, man.
Exactly.
They got a lot of hypersonic weapons, man. They just came out with. They stopped the United States from taking over Syria. They made them back off. Putin said he gonna give them some kind of weapon.
Exactly.
Some kind of missile. I forgot what it was.
Defensive. I think it was SR.
It was
300s and 400s.
Yeah,
yeah.
And they backed off and shit.
S something, just in case. I can't remember the exact name of it. I don't want somebody coming around. See, he said it was S. No, we know the defense system. I just can't remember off the top of my head what the alpha designation was. But if you remember the movie The Hunt for Red October, I believe when it first came on, it asked a question. It made a statement. It said, the three most powerful men on earth, we had the President of the United States, the President of the Soviet Union or Russia, and you had the captain of a nuclear submarine. Check that out. That's, even to this day, that's a good movie to see. Going on 30 years now. The Hunt for Red October. Sean Connery. Who else was in that? Scott Glenn, and one of those brothers. I can't think of it now. That character that several people have played, Jack Ryan. I can't remember who played it, and one of the Baldwin brothers, I believe it was. But still, a great movie to see. Anything else?
Let's see. How much more time we got on?
We can start wrapping it up.
Okay. I just had just a couple of.
Go ahead.
Okay, I will ascend above the height of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. That's Esau.
Yeah, pride of Esau.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the side of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdom? Okay. They made the world as a wilderness, and destroy the cities thereof, that open not the house of a prisoner.
God, who could that be?
Esau.
I was just being, you know, a smart ass. But the question is, it remains, to those that just don't get it, who was that talking about? Did we get to, I don't want to jump the gun. Where did you leave off? Oh, read 16 again.
Okay.
Baba Kushal.
Okay, read 16.
No, Baba Kushal.
Okay, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
Did you hear that? Is this the man? Not the spiritual demon Satan. Is this the man? It's talking about a man. It's talking about a people. All right? So who is that? I'm just, again, simple question. Should be. Who fits that bill? Remember, we're talking about a people. We're talking about a nation. Who fits that bill? Oh, okay.
That did shake kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
And you know they made the world a wilderness, man. You know,
Yeah.
made everybody crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, crack cocaine, angel dust, you name it, man. Opium, when they kind of backfired on, you know,
Mm-hmm.
shit.
That's what I'm getting right here.
Whatever kind of drug he brought out, man, the white man brought out. You know, speed, like you see in things.
Methamphetamine, all that, yeah.
Made a wilderness, man.
Yeah.
Then he come out with these trainings and all.
Yeah. That's why it says Psalms 82 about the foundations being out of course. Those are some of the foundations. This, if I may, real quick, this is Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Again, who is that talking about? Who fits this bill? Never before has anyone had the means to destroy the earth like what we have now. Nowhere near. All right, nuclear waste. All right, you've got two patches of garbage, each the size of Texas, out in the Pacific Ocean. Think how disgusting that is. You don't know even what's underneath all that, all the death. Oh, we shouldn't forget Fukushima, since we're talking about
we
coming
got
from
about that.
Japan.
Yeah.
When Obama, his first term. All right. All that, I mentioned radioactive waste, like damn. Look at the Gulf with that oil leak. You think that was solved? That they really capped that off? That huge oil spill there? Every place this man goes, that's why it calls it in Malachi, 1st chapter, verse 4, the border of wickedness. Everywhere he goes, he brings death. You know, Habakkuk 2nd chapter. You know, his soul is within him and is not upright within him. He is the wicked. All right? That's all I had on.
I just got two last scriptures. Okay, Psalm 37 and 35.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree.
There you go.
Yet he passed away,
Mm.
and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found.
Yeah, they're going up with Job 20th chapter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man,
That's the
see
end.
how these scriptures come together?
Yeah, that's the end of that devil.
There's going to come a point where, you know, I used to just imagine this, that in the kingdom, if, you know, it's not going to be necessary, but you know how they used to tell the children when they acted up, these old stories to put fear in their hearts, you know, about these monsters or whatever have you. You tell them about Esau, you know, but it won't be no need for that, you know.
Yeah.
Like I say, you know, he's going to fly away as a dream in Job 20 chapter, you know. All his accomplishments, his accolades are going to be remembered no more. All right, it's going to be as if he'd never been. Any more?
That's it on me. That's it.
Okay, so, hey, good lesson, you know. We're in that time that, as we always say, recently or lately, things are speeding up. These prophecies are just jumping out of the Bible here, all right? No more can you say that, oh, it's going to be this in my children, my grandchildren, you know, down the pipe, trying to kick the proverbial can down the road and keep putting things off, all right? This man is hurrying up. He's behind schedule, all right? And when you're in a hurry, you're prone to make mistakes. He's in a desperation mode now. So we don't know. I mean, it's just liable to, you know, Esau is Esau. There's a reason Daniel 12:1 says what it says, all right, about time being like no other in the history of this planet, and how the Archangel Michael have to step up for us. Think about that. That's what's at the door, knocking right now, all right? So with that, I think we've covered everything and we want to cover it. That's it. All right, so time's sake.
Okay.
So with that, once again, call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakar Once again, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who taught us his truth and well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and byways, pushing his truth in all honesty and sincerity while trying to wake up the remaining, hopefully elect. All right, time is short. Stay prayed up. All right, enjoy the brotherhood as you know it now. Remember these days. Remember these days, all right? Because it's hard times in store, all right? So with that, Shalom.
Shalom.
Baba Baba.
Shalom.